Guys, welcome to MyGuy Reviews review of Independence Day 2 Resurgence. Hit me up with your comments, your likes, subscribe for more things. Tell me what you thought of Independence Day. So this is the sequel to the 1996 film, which I remember as a wee little lad going to the cinema and watching. And that most iconic scene where the screen goes all black and then the big UFO flies over the White House and blow it up. And we knew we were into something special. These kind of films weren't out yet. The summer blockbusters. This is one that really set the scene for what is currently like the huge summer blockbusters, huge spend. This one is the sequel to that. Of course, no Will Smith this time. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the film yet. But yeah, no Will Smith. But it still has the Jeff Goldblum. He is in here in all his glory, but he cannot hold this sort of film together, so why not chuck in Hemsworth? Hemsworth is in here. Wait. Liam Hemsworth. The other Hemsworth brother. Okay, so not Thor. We've got the other one. Anyway, Bill Pullman's back, and a lot of other characters are back, but quite a few people couldn't come back into the film because of scheduling conflicts or kind of it's been so long. Will Smith obviously is one of the main characters from the previous who did not return in this film. For anyone who's about to watch the film, and it's in the trailers, it's kind of explained, but he dies in the time that has elapsed between number 1 and number 2, hence he is no longer in this film. So basically what happens, well, 20 years after we kind of like had the Independence Day invasion, there is something called the ESD, Earth Space Defense Unit, which is being brought up by the United Nations or something. Basically it's a bit of convoluted theory and stuff. Anyway, basically in Africa there's a huge ship, and one of the guys are called into there, and there's a warlord who finds out that this huge alien destroyer ship, the guys aboard the ship, they were basically drilling down and trying to send a beacon of information back home to say come rescue us. And what happens? A wormhole appears, and yes, the ships are back. This is Independence Day, so the ships are there, the ships are bigger. The explosions, the kind of visually special effects and everything that go with it are all here. They come as soon as the wormhole comes about. Basically, Ronald, the director anyway, basically he's done all sorts of things since. So he's no stranger to big budget action films. He's obviously done Independence Day 1. He directed 2012. He's done Day After Tomorrow. He's done Patriot, Godzilla. Obviously this one, White House Down. He's got a huge list of big budget films under his belt. No one has to say they're all critically acclaimed. They're popcorn blockbusters. That's what they are. They are literally summer blockbusters, and he's good at doing that. And to be fair, the action sequences are stunning. Let's be honest. Like to sit there in the big screen and to watch them, they were amazing to see. But without Will Smith's charisma, and without Jeff and Will kind of bouncing off each other, it wasn't as good, because you couldn't just say, the story is rubbish, but you had these two leading characters who were amazing. This time around, we have leading stars, but you're not really invested in them. I wasn't that interested in their story or their backstories or anything. I just wanted to get the aliens in. Get those aliens in! And then all out war. And basically, it's pretty much similar to the first one, where the aliens come down. And now we're kind of like, he's building on his mythology of his creation of his first Independence Day, and he's talking about stuff like there's a queen alien, there's all sorts of kind of aliens with, obviously they can now communicate with each other. They did previously, remember when they blew up the first one and all the other alien ships came down. Similar to that with the wormhole, the distress signal. So these aren't just silly, stupid aliens. These are these are advanced aliens with very, very kind of like very intelligent life forms with high technology as well, because if they can come all the way down to our planet as well. So kind of like when we have the big battle sequences, they look great on screen. The actual story is kind of all a bit boring. Stuff with the Queen can survive using like an energy shield, her biochemical suit and stuff. It's kind of a bit boring in a way, because the story isn't that good. Finally, when it all kind of ends and you're like, yeah, it's great. I know they want to make a trilogy of these films. They want to make 2 more after this possible sequel. But I believe with the box office numbers coming in, this film's going to be most probably a failure in the eyes of the distributors, with a 160 million plus budget, which means, you know, you're looking at about 400, maybe 500 million to break even. And with low numbers coming in from the first weekend in the US, it doesn't look like this film's going to do that well. But to be fair, it's a summer blockbuster. If you're going to go watch it, turn your brain off and do not try and think about the story much, because they have not thought enough about it. It is awful, but the premise is pretty much simple, and that would work if they didn't put a dodgy story on top of the simple premise. The aliens are still here. They've drilled down. They're going to send a beacon of information to say, we're here, come rescue us. Wormhole opens, more aliens, bigger ships, bigger disaster, bigger global presence this time. Now, these films we've seen are a dime a dozen, where we've seen 2012. Even he's done them before. 2012, you've seen Day After Tomorrow, again a film by him, where the global threat is real. Independence Day back in 96, these films weren't happening and set, hence why it's such a huge blockbuster, based even in those times 800, 900 million in the bank. So huge. Nowadays, obviously, it's more of we see these things all the time. We see these films like Transformers. We see huge summer blockbusters that are pretty much shot around the world. Even the Mission Impossible films, the Bourne film, and things are happening all over. So it's nothing new. So what can he bring to the table? Obviously, we've had stuff like Battleship, which hadn't worked. We've had films where alien invasions happen, big budget or small budget, Skyline, and they don't necessarily work unless you got a good story. And I think this is where they missed the trick. They didn't give it a good story. There wasn't enough charisma between the characters. There wasn't enough fun between them all. And yet, it could have had all of that and it would have been much better. But visually, yes, amazing film to watch. Lots of explosions, lots going on. A feast for the eyes. Just like Michael Bay coming together and Ronald coming together, they could make these kind of films in their sleep. It's great to see. But very, kind of average film in terms of for replay value, really. But for a summer blockbuster, this is right up our street. This is just what we want to see. Kind of take our brains off, go see a film, and visually just kind of let it wash over us. For the review, I would give this a 6 out of 10. The story isn't that good. I'd love to see Jeff back on screen. I was a little disappointed it was Hemsworth, the wrong Hemsworth, but still a good film. 6 out of 10. Worth watching just visually more than anything else. Hit me up with your comments, hit me up with hit subscribe for more, and tell me what you guys think.